They feed you stories. Stories about ownership, about capital, about what you can hold and control. But deep down, you know those stories are shackles, not keys. You own your company? No. Your contracts own you. You think your shares mean power? No. They're just numbers subject to licenses, gatekeepers, middlemen who decide when, how, or even if you can touch what's supposed to be yours. Every day, founders, investors, leaders feel it. The suffocating grip of outdated systems, built for control, not freedom, for rules, not creation, for the comfortable and complacent, not the bold and relentless. The frustration burns. You're staring at barriers that were supposed to be ironclad, but are riddled with cracks. Capital rights, ownership, they're illusions knitted by centralized powers that feed on inefficiency, opacity, and your dependence. But imagine breaking those chains. Imagine ownership that can be verified in seconds by anyone, anywhere on the planet, without a single gatekeeper blinking an eye or whispering permission. Imagine capital rights so clear, so transparent, so unbreakable. They act not just as proof, but as invincible contracts. Contracts that cannot be manipulated, erased, disputed, or hidden behind legal fog. Picture the devastation of middlemen, investment banks, brokers, custodians, now obsolete. The collapse of the old guard. The rise of a new world where capital flows freely, instantly and justly. Where trust is built into the system, not demanded from the weak. This is not fantasy. It's happening here, right now, in the guts of blockchain technology. Blockchain is the monstrous disruptor that shakes the foundations of capitalism as we know it. It's not brick and mortar. It's ones and zeros. But those ones and zeros carry the power to rewrite ownership itself. Blockchain makes ownership not just recorded, but unhackable. It cuts through frustration like a hot blade through wax. No more fighting for proof of your stake. No more praying your assets aren't frozen or seized by powers that have nothing to do with your vision or effort. Let the anger fuel you. This is the seizure point. The exact moment when the system that cages talent and capital will be shattered by your understanding and action. You're not powerless anymore. Imagine tokenizing your company's equity in a way that includes not only your co-founders, but every micro-investor, every supporter, every believer. Imagine those tokens representing real stakes, diluted no more by endless paper trails or bureaucratic bludgeoning. Imagine smart contracts that enforce agreements instantly. No lawyers, no delays, no loopholes. Owners and investors who are connected not by proximity or borders, but by actual proof embedded in code, visible and accessible 24/7. This is the laser focus you need. Stop playing by yesterday's rules. You must build your ventures where ownership is fluid, adaptive, and programmable. Own your data, your IP, your shares as if they were living assets. Mutable, transferable in trustless ways, scaling with your vision and community. Invest aggressively in protocols that unlock capital from slow, outdated systems. Demand platforms that don't bloat with middlemen and fees but cut margins until they vanish. Stop sipping comfort from the poisoned cup of traditional investment models that reward risk aversion and legacy, strangling ambition. Now, here is what you must do. Because talk is cheap and time, your precious time, is burning fast. Identify blockchain structures that empower real asset ownership, not just speculation. Dive into decentralized finance platforms that offer capital rights in totally transparent ecosystems. Learn how to leverage NFTs not as digital trinkets, but as real proof of exclusive ownership that can be fractionalized, bundled, shared, and legally binding. This is a breakthrough few truly grasp, and fewer still are brave enough to implement. Don't be afraid to dismantle your existing capital structures. If you cling to old equity and ownership concepts, you'll bury your future. Instead, experiment with partial tokenization of your assets. Start by issuing tokens that represent tangible shares and governance rights. Then let your investors, partners, and communities access those tokens with blockchain-secured identities. This is what the world's true founders understand. Ownership must be earned, real, and independent of status or tradition. This creates not only participation, but loyalty, true alignment, a dynamic meritocracy where value flows honestly and without hidden agendas. That means reshaping the idea of capital itself. Capital should not be locked in banks or centralized funds. It must be distributed, programmed, and liquid. It should flow seamlessly to those with the highest capacity to build, to revolutionize, to overturn the old. Blockchain allows for capital that acts like water, unstoppable, adapting, flowing to fit the contours of innovation, not clogged by bureaucrats or archaic law. And here's the kicker: don't let anyone fool you. The fight is not just about technology, it's a fight for your sovereignty, your right to direct your own destiny without asking permission. Blockchain is the weapon, but vision and relentless action are your ammunition. If you understand this, you will no longer be a pawn in a system designed to feed off your limits. You will become the architect of a new economic order, a new capitalism where individual freedom, accountability, and dynamic connections are the pillars. The question for every founder, investor, and leader watching right now is this: will you accept the status quo that kills personal power and rewards mediocrity? Or will you step into the storm, disrupt the script, and redefine ownership for the centuries to come? This is not comfort or compliance. This is war against your own constraints. And the good news? The tools to win are already at your fingertips, encoded in blocks that cannot be broken. Here's the immediate play. Stop relying on centralized platforms that gatekeep your capital and data. Move aggressively to decentralized alternatives. Seek partnerships with developers who get that ownership isn't permission, it's control. Build your ventures on protocols that guarantee transparency, real-time ownership updates, and programmable capital flows. Make your capital rights visible on open ledgers, open to all stakeholders so trust becomes automatic, not manufactured. If this feels heavy, it's because it should. You're not here to live in the shadow of an empire built on lies and illusions. You're here to shatter it. Capitalism is not dead. It just needs rebirth. Blockchain gives you that chance. An unstoppable, transparent, fair battlefield where only the capable rise and only the visionary own. Jump into this fight with everything you have, because this is how freedom looks in the 21st century. Decentralized, undeniable, and unbreakable. Master this now. Build this. Own this. Watch as the old world crumbles and you become the standard bearer of a capitalism where ownership and capital rights finally mean what they promise: freedom, power, and unstoppable creation. The future doesn't wait, neither should you.